Hello, my fellow creatives. This is Lewis here, and I have been given the task to help you guys out with a quick skin retouching tutorial for this month's creative team. Skin retouching is not that hard, and most of what I've learned, I've watched tutorials on my own on YouTube and then a little bit of trial and error. So in order to help you follow along with me, I will be providing this file to you guys so you guys can practice on your own. So let's get started. Skin retouching is something that customers ask if asked to be done to their images when there are scars or bumps or something like that that they want removed. Me personally, I only remove or only do in-depth skin retouching only when customers request it. Initially, if there are scars or anything like that, natural marks, I usually leave those until the customer approaches me about them. That way I don't mess with anyone's, self-worth or, self-confidence, thinking that there was something wrong with them. So with this image, my client requested, that I do some in-depth skin retouching, clean up her husband's skin a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the image, we're going to create a new layer and circle all of the areas that we're going to work on. His face is not that bad, but let's get started. So first, to create a new layer, we're going to hit Command or Control N, Shift N, I apologize, Command Control Shift N, and that'll create a new layer, and we'll just title this layer Flaws. And what we're going to do on this layer is we're going to select our paintbrush and we're going to select a red color, and we'll bring the brush size down a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in and we're going to focus on the groom's face, and we're going to circle out all skin defects. So the first one will be right here. Let me Control Z. Let me bring that flow up to 100% so you can see what we're doing. We're going to circle this one right here, this area 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 right here. And we'll work this area, but this may take a little bit of time, so that last one we may or may not do. So what we've done, and we have some stuff in his ear, and we'll take that out as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new layer, a duplicate layer of the background image. Everything that we do today will be considered non-destructive editing. So basically what that means is we will not be doing anything directly on the background layer to preserve that file, because once you begin working on that background layer and you save, you no longer have the original file. It will be whatever changes or edits that you've done on that background layer. So anytime you're in Photoshop, I suggest that you create a duplicate layer and do all of your edits on different layers as opposed to working on that background layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Command or Control J, and it's going to give us a duplicate background copy. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide the flaws circle. There are two tools that we may be using to take care of his skin. We're not going to do any um, out of this world skin smoothing texture techniques or anything like that. We're going to do a pure skin retouching. And the first tool that we're going to use is going to be the spot healing brush. And the spot healing brush, what that does is it samples an area of the skin that's close to whatever area you're working on, particularly good small areas, and it clones that skin in and it makes that skin look as if it was smooth. So we're going to zoom in and we're going to start working with the spot healing tool. And also when we're using the spot healing tool, I suggest that your your brush size is a little bit bigger than the area that you're working in. And I'll show you the difference between the spot healing tool and the spot healing brush. And also another tool that we will use so I can show you the difference is the clone stamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to press forward and continue to work on our flaws. And as you can see, we got a good clean area right there. Got a good clean area right there, and you can cycle on and off to see which areas you need to work on. Let's see what we have here. As you can see, this is one of the reasons why we will end up using the spot healing tool, because I went to try to correct this area and it looks like it's out of place. So what we'll do is we'll continue with the spot healing brush real quick, work on some of the other skin textures, and then we will press with the spot healing brush. See, that one doesn't even look like it's going to be good either. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually, let me go up to his ear and see if we can make that happen. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the spot healing brush, the healing brush tool. And with the healing brush tool, you can select the sample area as opposed to having the program software select your sample area. So coming over here to his jawline, we want to make sure that when we sample in an area that looks like the area that we're repairing. So I'm going to sample this area right here. That's not a good sample. There we go. Sample all layers. You also want to make sure that sample all layers is selected, because it'll take samples from every layer. There are times where you have 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 layers of work, and you want to make sure that whatever layer you're working on the top looks the same as all of the other 9. So you want to make sure that sample all layers is selected. And as we go down, we will continue sampling different areas of his face. And as you can see, we're doing pretty good getting rid of these razor bumps. And again, these are only retouching tools that I use only if the client suggests it, or if requests it, or if I'm doing a beauty retouching. We'll zoom out. You can see his face is already looking better. I'm on the cycle. See the difference? We'll go back in and do some more cleaning up. Oh, I forgot one thing to tell you. I'm well into it. When you're using the when you're using the healing brush tool, you have to hold down Alt or Option to sample the area, whatever area that you want to sample from. And usually when I'm editing, I usually listen to music because editing is a very tedious process. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable and you're listening to something that will keep you entertained and not bored. Just looking at other stuff that I didn't pay any attention to. Discoloration in his head. And then let's attempt to work this chin. This chin may be a little more in depth. But to do areas like this, we can use the clone stamp tool, and it works the same way as the healing brush tool. You hold Alt down to sample the area that you want to clone, and you just get to work. And again, this is basic skin retouching. This is nothing in depth, and by all means there are so many other ways, but I want to not freak anybody out about working in Photoshop. The stigma is Photoshop is a very difficult program to work in, but I think I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the bottom of the chin for time's sake. So I hit one brush, zoom in a little bit. That area right there. Spot healing brush is a gift and a curse for certain areas. So we'll see how it looks. Actually looks really good. I think we're at a good spot. Actually, see some stray hairs down here. And what we'll do is we'll get the clone stamp, sample this air, the sky, and we'll take everything to where we can get rid of those stray hairs. Opacity, bring it up to 100%. And there we go. We have retouched skin without the razor bumps and some other things. It looks more normal, it looks more natural. These are very natural ways to retouch skin. These are not there's no one way to correct them, but I encourage you to check out Photoshop, check out different tutorials, and it will help you learn different ways to do skin retouching and skin editing. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this. I hope that I've equipped your photo retouching arsenal with a quick and easy skin retouching technique.